Today we're going to be rating cards from Homelands. That's right, we're going to be rating cards from the worst set perhaps ever in Magic the Gathering. And we're going to rate them based on if they're unplayable, or sorry, like barely playable, gets this. Then if they're unplayable, or if they're just an absolute complete disaster. You wouldn't even want to play this thing by today's standards. Yeah, it's got such a reputation. Homelands was so bad they tried to make a card to wipe the expansion off the plane. Yes, we would never go back to it. We're going to start off with Temerian Fiends, a black 1 generic 1/1 summon horror. It's a horror creature. Okay, well, I can't read these. We're just gonna have to do it like this. I'm not gonna read the actual text on these text boxes. I gotta read the Oracle text. Remove Temerian Fiends from your deck before playing if you're not playing for ante. Okay, I see where this is going. Black, sacrifice Temerian Fiends. The owner of target artifact may ante the top card of their library. If that player doesn't, exchange ownership of that artifact and Temerian Fiends. Put the artifact card in your graveyard and Temerian Fiends from anywhere into that player's graveyard. This change of ownership is permanent. Yeah, this is this is AI art? No. From back then? Absolutely not. So the deal is, okay, so I guess it's artifact destruction, but now it's your artifact. Thank God that you can tap and sacrifice your Black Lotus in response. But anyway, yeah, we can't. The card like this today would not exist. Can't believe Ante existed even as far as Homelands. That's insane. All right, the next card I have up is we got Aaron the Relentless. It's a red 3 generic 5/2 human rogue with haste. And it's got the ability, and actually 5/2 for 5 mana with haste. All right, we're already in limited playability ability. And we've got red, regenerate Aaron the Relentless. All right, we've got something that's actually playable. And so playable, they actually reprinted this card in what, Time Spiral Time Shifted? Yeah, Time Spiral Time Shifted. That's exactly where it came out. Give us your Homelands cards, and we'll rate them today. Okay, what else do we got here? We can look at Baki's Curse. You want to look at cards you've never heard of? Here we go. Baki's Curse. Blue, 2 generic sorcery. Baki's Curse deals 2 damage to each creature for each creature enchantment on that creature. So if you're playing... Wow, this is so niche. Because, like... By today's standards, there's like only one deck that's going to play with auras. And that's a hexproof deck, so you can't even target the damn thing. Hold on. Oh, no, but it gets around that. It deals 2 damage to each creature for each aura. It doesn't target! It doesn't target! It's actually playable! 4 mana aura, hexproof aura creature destruction. It doesn't target, actually. It's actually a way to beat up on those hexproof decks. So long as they don't have, I don't know, ethereal armor on them or anything like that. That would be insane. Homelands hype. Okay, Sadie says Apocalypse Chime. Apocalypse Chime. We found a playable card. Okay, Apocalypse Chime. 2 mana artifact, pay 2, tap, sacrifice Apocalypse Chime to bury all cards from the Homelands expansion. Given the fact that almost nobody's going to be playing with permanents from the Homelands expansion, I would say this card is unplayable. Unless Homelands comes back. Maybe if they go back in time enough. You know, like, I don't know, return to Homelands. Return to home! We're going home. I can imagine the promotional material. It's finally time to go home in Magic the Gathering. Robert with the super chat. We got a Badger. Okay, Razorian Badger. The Razorians. Oh yeah, the Badger. We saw this the other day. Green 2 generic for a 2/2 Badger. When Razorian Badger attacks and isn't blocked, you may exile up to 2 target creature cards from the defending player's graveyard. If you do, gain 1 life for each card exiled this way, and Razorian Badger assigns no combat damage this turn. Barely playable. Barely. Absolutely barely playable. Homelands gave us Memory Lapse. Ah. That actually is a real card. It's banned in Historic, actually. Well, where's the original? We got the one with the I don't know. It looks like an old psychology monument of some sort. The blue one generic, interrupt, counter target spell, put that spell on top of its owner's library. Or I should say, by today's standard, if that spell was countered this way, put it on top of its owner's library instead of that player's graveyard. Very good card, actually. Very, very good card. It's going the top 10 cards from Homelands. Bury them in the desert, like the E.T. game. I'm in for that. Well, but how tough are those creatures? Is a 3 aura not at least a 7/7? Well, it depends. It depends. Talking about the Back East Curse, it depends if they have, what's it called? Ethereal Armor on, because that's the one that will buff it up the most. Most of those auras only give it +1. So it will, if it deals 2 damage per aura, it'll do the job. It'll definitely do the job. Can't even fly. Sarah Bestiarier? This Bestiary? Bestiary? The hell is this? Okay, white for Sarah Bestiary. Enchant creature. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice Sarah Bestiary unless you pay white. Enchanted creature can't attack or block, and its activated abilities with tap and their cast can't be activated. I would say this is unplayable. You gotta perpetually pay 2 mana, so this creature can't attack or block, and they can't use their activated abilities. I mean, I guess in the late game when you have nothing else better to do with your mana, go for it. Seems like a really awkward pacifism. Anyone play pacifism in their commander decks? Sure, let the creature sit on the battlefield. It can't attack or block or anything. Is this an actual card? Homeward Bound? Homeward Bound. No. It is not. But we got Alpha Nerd here. Thanks so much, Alpha Nerd. Hungry Mist. The Mist be hungry in Homelands. Alright, we got a green 2 generic. 6/2 elemental. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice Hungry Mist unless you pay green. No, I don't even think this is playable by today's standard. You know what? I'm gonna have to downgrade playable. If we've got, like, Memory Lapse hitting the bar of playable, I gotta downgrade some of these. I'm not paying any upkeeps, in my opinion. It'll just stifle our growth for further turns into the game. Whale of Darkness. We drafted Homelands once, and it was the most miserable experiences. The creatures were so bad, and running out of cards was a serious win condition because the game became a stalemate easily. That means you make 60 card limited decks. You just play all your playables. Whoever decks first is the loser. So whoever has the largest deck is in a good position to win the game. We got Rob with 1,000 yen. Merchant Scroll is a vintage playable. Cards tutor up them ancestral recalls. That's right. Merchant Scroll. This is actually arguably the best card from Homelands. Probably the best thing ever. Blue 1 generic sorcery. Search your library for a blue instant or interrupt. This is just a blue instant. Reveal that card to all players and put it into your hand. Reach off your library afterwards. Yeah, you can get your ancestral recalls. That's right. Get your ancestral recalls. Not even evasion. Yeah, that's right. What is Whale Dark? We used 6 boosters instead of 3 boosters because there were only 8 cards. Oh yeah, that's right. Back then there wasn't so many cards. Because you don't need lands anymore. They're like, we don't need to fill these packs with lands anymore. It's the end of lands. Okay, Christopher B with Dry Spell. What does Dry Spell do? We got a black 1 generic sorcery. Dry Spell deals 1 damage to each creature and each player. It's not that bad. You know what? It's a good sideboard card. For, I guess, black. Like, maybe black doesn't have access to deals 1 damage to everything. And, you know, 1 damage is not too bad. It's like a black Pyroclasm in some ways. Black Pyroclasm. I don't like the art too, I guess. It's a fishy. It's a fishy. Foxy says Smallpox was crazy about collecting all of the Clockwork cards from Homelands. See Clockwork Swarm. The Swarm. Oh my goodness. 4 mana for a 0/3 insect? That's an artifact? That doesn't make any sense at all. Alright, Clockwork Swarm enters the battlefield with 4 +1/+0 counters on it as a 0/3 creature. But it can't be blocked by walls. At the end of combat, if Clockwork Swarm attacked or blocked this combat, remove a +1/+0 counter from it. Pay X, tap put up to X +1/+0 counters on Clockwork Swarm. This ability can't cause the total number of +1/+0 counters on Clockwork Swarm to be greater than 4. Activate this ability only during your upkeep. Oh my god! I liked it up until it said upkeep, so no, I don't think it's very playable. F this card. Joey! Leeches! Thank you very much for the super chat. First time catching a stream, by the way. Welcome to the stream, Joey. Leeches. Maybe the first of many. Which leeches? This leeches? This is the leeches. Literally leeches! That old... I don't know. Is this like Asian medicine? White, 1 generic sorcery. Target player loses all poison counters. Leeches deals that much damage to that player. What culture thought of this? Putting the leeches on you to suck the poison from your blood. Also, it'll just suck the blood from your blood. Where our potions and powders fail, perhaps nature will succeed. Rayan Samite Alchemists. They lose all poison counter. We need to bring this card back. We need this card back for the poison metagame. But it's too narrow, so I give it the unplayable. Marcelo with Forget. Forget about it. Just forget about it. Oh my goodness. Look at this guy with a hat. Yet the OG card had them. The Oracle text is so much shorter than this entire nonsense. Okay, it's blue. Target player discards 2 cards, then draws as many cards as they discarded this way. So it's like, it's looting. Oh no, no, it's not looting. It's rummaging. It's a blue rummaging spell. This, oddly enough, I think is barely playable. But no one would see it. It's like a really awkward color. You choose, target player chooses 2 cards, discards 2 cards, and then you can draw cards. So it's just rummaging. Should replace you in the thumbnail? No, I don't think so. I'll be looking at him in the thumbnail. Or what will be my... There we go. Looking at Forget. Okay, I'm gonna have to make a decision here. Unplayable. Not terrible. Maybe barely playable, but not terrible. Hold on. Many. Leech bloodletting is an ancient and at least has some modern medical uses. Oh yeah, okay. It's so old we don't remember where it came from. Kyle Driver with the super chat. Thanks so much. If you have a card, I'll keep a good lookout for it. We did Merchant Scroll already. What's the mechanic? Yeah, it's rummaging. Everyone's like excited for Merchant Scroll. We did it! Do I have to figure out one? All right, next we're gonna look at Castle Singir. Most people don't. I'm looking at these Homelands cards. I don't know any of them. Like this, it's almost like looking at a whole new set for the first time. We got Castle Singir here. Tap, add 1 colorless mana to your mana pool. Or you can pay 1, tap, add a black. And then pay 2, tap, add a blue. Pay 2, tap, add a red. Where hope has no champion, evil rules all. So the colorless is free. Black costs you 1, and the blue and a red costs you 2. It's beyond ridiculous. Anyway, I'm actually gonna give this playable. I'll tell you why. Some Eldrazi decks might want this, or any decks that need to pay colorless mana. This might be actually a pretty good filter land. I would not be surprised. There are some people out there that, you know, they need. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's so many pain lands that you don't need this stuff anymore. But that seems almost reasonable. I could be completely wrong though. What else we have? Whoops. Primal Order. I've only been playing 2 years. Just send money for support. Oh, thank you very much, Kyle Driver. I appreciate the support. It's what I'm here every morning for. Okay, Primal Order. Green, 2 generic enchantment. It is from Homelands, confirmed. Well, look at the more newer version. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, Primal Order deals damage to that player equal to the number of non-basic lands he or she controls. Wow! That's a good card! That is legitimately good! You could really F people with this thing. This is worse than Blood... Well, I don't know about worse than Blood Moon. But people are about to feel the pain! It's like Mana Barbs, except you can't avoid it. Like, we have cards like this. Mana Barbs. Look at the barbs. It's strange, but I can feel it when the land is corrupted. I understand why the Autumn Willow is so protective. That's right. That's Autumn Willow for you. Mana Barbs is like whenever a player taps a land for mana, Mana Barbs deals 1 damage to that player. This is green Mana Barbs as far as I'm concerned. Just screw it. You take damage equal to the number of non-basic lands you control. You just don't play with any non-basic lands. Make fun of all your friends with all their fancy volcanic islands, underground seas, shock lands, fetch lands. We're gonna have those things on the battlefield. God, there's a new order around, and it's the Primal Order. You know where you get your Primal Orders, people. FusionGamingOnline.com, today's sponsor. How many Primal Orders are there in stock? Don't make me look stupid. Fusion Gaming. We got one! Okay, hold on. We have one from Homelands. And that's it. There we go. While supplies last. And if you want to get any of your cards from Fusion Gaming Online, singles, sealed product, boxes, don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu at checkout for 5% off all your purchases. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online. Be able to play any cards in any format you want. Explore brew as much as you possibly can. Right now, I'm brewing in Legacy. I'm taking out True Name Nemesis. I'm playing with Days. I'm playing with a very new, innovative Merfolk list. I gotta borrow the Wastelands, the Force Wills. I don't play Legacy that much. Thanks to Mana Traders, I can play those decks. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_U3V. Sweet stuff. Back to the order. The Primal Order. Rating Homelands cards today. What a bizarre show. I'm just wondering to see if, instead of waiting for sets to come out, let's just go review old sets. Oh, Meek with the super chat. Thank you so much. Didgeridoo is a deck in Legacy. Not good, but a deck. I will admit, Didgeridoo has some potential. Okay, so one generic artifact. Pay 3, you can put a Minotaur permanent from your hand onto the battlefield. That's disgusting. That's a very, very strong card. Very, very playable. Not enough homes right now. Like, we need a few more Minotaurs into this game. As they print Minotaurs, this thing will be bonkers. Bonkers strong. Basically, Ether Vial for Minotaurs, but you can put anything in play. I don't know. Maybe between this and Ether Vial would be really, really broken. But in any case, at the moment you can put Changelings in play, and that is not too bad. So, I do think it is a very playable card. And now we got Remy here with the super chat. Thanks so much, Remy. I'm late, but did you mention leeches? We did mention leeches. Quite a conversation. Only real way to remove poison from a player to this day. That is true. There's the tech. So if you got the infect player at the table, that would be such a blowout. Like, this is, oh, it's not modern legal. Yeah, it's part of the reserve list, actually. Man, does that mean, well, they can make a better card than this. I think they can make a superior card. They could make leeches for double white, for example, and I think that would be fine. The reserve list means you just can't have the exact same card. You can make better versions of the card, believe it or not. They've done it before. I was just thinking, if they couldn't do that, it's like, there's no way to remove poison counters. It's just impossible. How do we cure ourselves of our infected disease? Toilet Duck says, don't you just love how unreadable the card names and types are in that layout? Just mainly just white cards have this problem. No, all the cards have the problem. You can't read Dink. They have this awful, I don't know, background in the text. Isn't Feast of the Unicorn from Homelands? We'll find out in a second. Feast of the unicorn. Unicorn? I thought those are extinct. Okay, black 3 generic enchant creature. Enchant creature gets +4/+0. Finally, our first awful card. Could there be a fouler act? No doubt. The Baron knows of one, says Autumn Willow. You really pumped up this Autumn Willow character in this thing. I use Irene Sengir as my commander. Irene Sengir? Well, I'll be damned. We got a legendary creature here. She reminds me of, I don't know, I'm getting Addams Family vibes looking at this picture. Okay, black 2 generic for a 2/2 legend. White enchantments and green enchantments each cost an additional 2 to cast. Wow, you're just screwing over your friends that are playing green and white. This is like a sideboard card. It's playable. I think it's playable. It's not that bad. It's got a nice taxing effect. I like the taxing. The taxing is good. Chandler, could it be any more obvious? I always had a soft spot for Chandler. It's pretty boring mechanic, but the art is so goofy. Is that an actual card? Chandler? Oh, it is! It's Chandler! Red for generic for a 3/3 legendary creature. So it can be your commander. Red, tap, destroy target artifact creature. That's not bad. Okay, that's like, it is somewhat playable. Never brag about the latest wonder you've created, students. Chandler might be listening. Ravika, Wizard Savant. Chandler, woo! Everyone's happy to see Chandler. Okay, we got Remy here. Thank you very much. Apocalypse Chime. We looked at this one already, but I'll do it again for you. We've got a lot of duplicates here in these super chats. 2 mana, pay 2, tap, sacrifice Apocalypse Chime to bury all cards from the Homelands expansion. I gave it the buzzer a little bit because how often you could be facing Homelands cards. She's pogging out. Poggers. Mr. Very Smart says Ace and Highway. Did they have highways in Homelands? They did, apparently. What's a highway back then? There is a street here. What is with the street? Okay, white, 3 generic enchantment. All white creatures gain Planeswalk. All roads lead to Rome. Tread the roads of righteousness, Murat, lest you lose your way and be consumed. Also, don't forget to use your turning signal. Okay, Christopher B. Well, let's look at the actual Autumn Willow. The legend herself. The green 4 generic 4/4 Shroud Avatar. Pay a green. Until end of turn, Autumn Willow can be the target of spells or abilities controlled by target player as though it didn't have Shroud. But only you can activate this ability. It's a very bizarre card. It's basically 6 mana for a 4/4 with Shroud. And I guess under some circumstances, maybe you want to put an aura on her? Maybe? Actually, we must shake her limbs and rattle her brains. What a weird flavor text to put on her. Like, imagine you really like this card. You want to play this card. And then they put this bizarre flavor text from a completely different character. An opposing character, if anything. Anyway, I don't know the lore very well. So we're going to give her the buzzer. Anyway. The OG troll. Truce! It sounds like back then they were trying to exhaust all the single word cards or single words they could use as a card. Truce. White, 2 generic. Instant. Each player may draw up to 2 cards. For each card less than 2 any player draws, that player gains 2 life. Why on earth anyone would not want to take the 2 cards? Hold on. This is basically... No, but it's not for one person. It's each player. Each player may draw up to 2 cards. And, but who wouldn't? And it's instant speed. Anyway, I think this is not bad, actually. This is a pretty cool card. 4 life, sweet! Worse than Thrun the Last Troll. Yes, that's correct. In reference to Autumn Willow. Basically a very expensive troll. Okay, so what do we got here? We've got Serrated Arrows by Max. Oh, is this the Serrated Arrows set? Serrated Arrows! Been reprinted a million times. But it was OG in Homelands, right? Confirmed from Homelands. Serrated Arrows. Enter the battlefield with 3 arrowhead counters on it at the beginning of your upkeep. If there are no arrowhead counters on Serrated Arrows, sacrifice it. Tap. Remove an arrowhead counter from Serrated Arrows. Put a -1/-1 counter on target creature. It's, like, not super unplayable, but it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Pay 4 mana, deal 1 damage to something. Basically, put a -1/-1 counter on something. I guess it stacks. Could eventually. One day you can kill a 3/3. One day. Yeah, white card draw. People are complaining about what white doesn't have card draw. They have plenty of card draw. There it is. And in truth be told, they're going back to that style, right? If white draws like everyone draws. Everyone wins. What is this? Dark Maze. Let's go to the Dark Maze. Maze of Darkness. Alright, we got blue, 4 generic, 4/5 wall. Pay 0. Dark Maze can attack this turn as though it were not a wall. At end of turn, remove Dark Phase from the game. Oh, God! I don't want to play with this card. It's basically, when you win with this... It's a wall that can attack? That is so bizarre. I don't understand the flavor here. Stray not onto the path of darkness or be lost for forever. But it's the maze that is being lost for forever. Not the creature that it blocks. It should be like, if you block a creature, it gets exiled or some nonsense like that. Now that would be a hell of a card. Like, the maze and the creature get exiled. That's a card. If I recall correctly, the arrows only saw tournament play because the first iteration of Standard forced you to use at least 5 cards from every legal set. It's probably not a bad sideboard card. Serrated Arrows usually kill 2 creatures. Back then, the creatures sucked, so I have no doubt that Serrated Arrows saw some play. It's just not any good by today's standards, that's all. Yeah, it's a huge flavor fail. Makes no sense whatsoever. We got the Coral Reef. What is this? Oh, I remember this card. Okay, it's a funny card, right? Blue enchantment. When it comes into play, put 4 polyp counters on it. Pay 0. Sacrifice an island to put 2 polyp counters on Coral Reef. Pay a blue. Tap target blue creature you control and remove a polyp counter from Coral Reef to put a +0/+1 counter on any target creature. What? Go on, I gotta read the real thing here. Enters the battlefield with 4 polyp counters. Sack an island. Put 2 polyp counters on Coral Reef. Pay a blue. Tap an untapped blue creature you control. Remove a polyp counter. Put a +0/+1 counter on target creature. What a load of work! Okay, this is unplayable. It's completely unplayable. This is... What a load of work to... where'd my music go? How far are we into here? What you have to put so much work just to put a +0/+1 counter on it? That's terrible. Absolute trash. We got Crowcore Games with the super chat. Thank you very much. Ether Storm. I have not done Ether Storm. Thank you very much for the super chat. Oh, this looks powerful. Creature cards can't be played? Were you serious? For a blue 3 generic enchantment? Pay 4 life, destroy Ether Storm. It can't be regenerated. Any player may play this ability. In multiplayer, this is probably... Like, in Commander, this is not going to be that useful. Pay 4 life. Oh, easy. I got tons of life. I have more life than I need. The 40 life total doesn't even seem necessary in Commander. Does anyone agree with that? Like, would it be totally fine if you had 20 life or 30 life? Like, 40 life seems like excessive to the point it makes some strat. It almost seems like going combo is a good idea in competitive Commander, at least. Because how on earth are you going to kill someone for 40 life unless you're doing something broken? Whereas if everyone was at like 20 life, there's at least some shot of you killing people with creatures. I could be wrong, though. Sort of a blue burn card, like maybe, kinda, you know. 30 maybe, but definitely not 20. All right. 20 is for the Oathbreaker players. The Oathbreakers. Oh boy, sack an island, pay blue, and tap. You gotta tap a creature, by the way, to make a creature a little bit bigger. Yeah, a lot of work for that 0/1. Alright, a lot of people said 20 life won't work in Commander. Oh, because all of a sudden Ether Storm will be playable. No one wants to lose that 4 life. I would pay money to see how someone could regenerate a non-creature. That's true. And it says that on the Oracle text. You have to pay for life. It can't be regenerated. Yeah. How do you regenerate an enchantment? Well, you have to first, step 1, you gotta turn into a creature. And then, and there's a lot of cards that will turn into a creature. Like, I don't know, Replenish? No, Opalescence, that's what it is. That's what would happen. Yeah. Okay, Christopher, Sun's Shade. The Shade. It is from Homelands. Look at that OG Homelands image. You know what? Flash of a second. This looks like a silhouette of the Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Black, 3 generic for a 5/5 legend. Protection from white. The OG, I don't know, the OG hate cards, you know. They don't make those cards as much as they used to. It was like, it was so forth. Like, so black always had like this really good pro-white, pro-green stuff. Or like, you know, hate against plains, hate against the forests. Same thing with blue against red and green. They don't make those cards anymore. The battle of the Pyroblasts and the Hydroblasts. Just don't see that stuff these days. Okay, I'm gonna give this a buzzer. It's a very expensive, stupid card. Karn's Silex. What are you talking about? This is not even Homelands. Back to Homelands. Don't take me out of, what is this, 1990... We're 1995. I feel I'm taking a history lesson here. Ivory Battle, Ambush Party. Don't get ambushed here. Okay, red 4 generic for a 3/1 First Strike Haste. What a terrible card. Too much mana. Don't we have First Strike Hasters for like 3 or 2 mana these days? Did we look at the Baron Singer? I want to say we did, but maybe we didn't. The OG! Oh, it's the Baron Singer. All right, black, 5 generic for a 5/5 legend. Flying. Whenever a creature is put into the graveyard, the same turn Baron Singer damaged it, put a +2/+2 counter on Baron Singer, and you can tap regenerate target vampire. That's not terrible. Whenever a creature dealt damage by Baron Singer dies this turn, put a counter. This is like very OG vampire stuff. I killed you, I sucked your blood, I got some energy. Make it playable. Playable for a vampire deck. Oh, Karn Silex with Aether Storm, though. You can block opponent from ever playing creatures. Alright, hold on. Enter the battlefield. Tap. Players can't pay life to cast spells. Ah, it combos. Interesting. It combos with the blue enchantment card. You can't pay life to cast spells or to activate abilities that aren't mana abilities. So get Karn Silex out and Aether Storm. That's like a lock. No creatures anymore. That's it. It's done. Whatever creatures are on the battlefield, that's it for the rest of the game. Alright, looks like the value of Aether Storm has gone up. Maybe that should be another show. Making really bad cards good today. By today's standards. Yeah, the not Homelands has synergy. Did we rate every wall in the game before? We have not yet. Hold on, I'm trying to get to some other. Here, let's get to Nalia. Veldrain of Sanger. Oh, the pirate! Or sorry, not the pirate. What is it? The Darkness movie. What's the Darkness movie that I'm thinking of? I did this before. There's like there's two movies with a guy with an eye patch. There is like the Snake? No. Something. Okay, you guys will know. You guys will know as I read this card. Black, 5 generic for a 5/5 legend. With the activated ability of black, and 1 generic. Get Forest Walk and -3/-0 until end of turn. That's pretty poopy. It was escape from LA. There we go. No, not Solid Snake. Escape from LA. Okay, we're going off the rails now. Escape from LA. But then there's the other movie. There's that guy. There he is. That's what I'm talking about. There's Escape from LA. But there's another. Also, I really liked this movie when I was a kid. But what is the other one? There's another movie where he has a chainsaw for a hand. Or maybe he didn't have an eye patch, but I thought he had an eye patch. Or maybe it's Escape from New York I like. Which is the one where he had the virus in him and they said, you're gonna die in like 3 days. Figure it out. Kurt Russell. Or is it Escape from New York? Whatever, it doesn't matter. There's a guy with a chainsaw for a hand. I swear he also has an eye patch. Snake is back. Okay, that was the second one. Escape from New York was the first one. Now I feel like watching this thing. Okay, Army of Darkness. That's what I was thinking of. Army of Darkness. I don't care if I'm losing my retention. Did he have an eye patch? Oh, he didn't have an eye patch. Okay, I'm wrong. Okay, F it. I'm done here. I was just thinking of Escape from New York. Okay, Nick, the one with the chainsaw and eye patch is a character from The Grim Adventures of Billy and Maddie. Oh. Billy and Maddie. Okay, this is I'm not familiar with the lore of that, so it was not what I was thinking of. Okay, back to the show. Labyrinth of Minotaur. No, Labyrinth Minotaur. What the hell is this? Okay, it's a blue 3 generic 1/4 Minotaur. You can put it into play with your didgeridoo. When Labyrinth Minotaur blocks a creature, that creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. Wow, the original freeze. Or whatever what is it? They keyworded this now, didn't they? Anyway, okay, so, it's terrible. The boomstick. Yeah, the boomstick. Army of Darkness. Metal Gear Solid. Solid Snake had an eye patch. Oh, maybe that's what I was thinking of. Maybe it was. Yeah, I was probably thinking of Solid Snake and mixing him up with Army of Darkness. Yeah, probably. He looks old in this picture. Playable and limited. Very, very playable and limited. But it should be freeze. I thought they gave it a name, but I'm not sure. Oh, it's called Stun? Oh, what a stupid name. Oh, that was awful. Fools. Okay, we got Crowcore Games and Zarin Ruins. The hell is this? Red 2 generic enchantment as and Zarin Ruins comes into play. Choose a creature type. Creatures of the chosen type don't untap during their controller's untap steps. Wow, that's actually insane. That's just like almost hard hate for certain, like if you play this against my Merfolk deck, I'm screwed. I get 1 attack and that's it. Is that it? Here's a battlefield, you choose a creature type and creatures of the chosen type just don't untap. That card is actually really good. I mean, yeah, you can still attack, but you get 1 shot and then that's it. And that creature is just done for. The Anzarans have served me well ever since I first killed them, Baron Singer. There's some gold in here. There's actually some really good cards in Homelands, if you dig deep enough. Yeah, it's creature choke. It's exactly what it is. I don't know how much red wants this effect, but maybe. I guess it's really but you still can lock down a creature that's problematic on the battlefield. You just name their creature type. Vampire, squid, whatever you want. And but you can still name anything. It's narrow if you want to nail all their creature cards, but it's basically like 4 mana, the creature isn't untapping anymore. Especially if it has some really annoying activated ability. It's actually pretty good. Pair this with Frozen Ether. True story. Okay, Approach of Calamity says, no, Big Boss, Naked Snake, and Old Snake had eye patches. When he appeared as Solid Snake, he never did. Pedantic, yes. Accurate, important, also yes. I have no idea. I don't know the lore of Solid Snake. Wait, in red, that's weird. It seems like a white, blue, or black card. Well, back then, you know, the color pie was a little... People could do whatever they wanted back then. It was good versus an elf. Oh my god, it would just ruin the elf deck. Yeah, suck it, changelings. Whatever we name, it doesn't matter. You're still screwed. Okay, we've got a super chat somewhere, if I can find it. There we go. Can't even fly with the super chat. Thank you very much. Prophecy is such a do-nothing card. Well, first the card, and then eventually they made a set after this. Prophecy, a white. Sorcery, reveal the top card of target opponent's library to all players. If it is a land, gain 1 life. That opponent then shuffles his or her library. Draw a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. This is actually not useless. Like, I would not want to actually play this card. But let's say someone stacked something on top of their library and then passed the turn. I mean, you could prophesize it, look at it. All right, everyone, this is the card. This is what they were stacking. This is their plan. And then you make them shuffle it away. Say goodbye to it. Ta-ta, bye-bye. See you later, sayonara. Have a nice trip. Card. Yeah, at least it's a cantrip. Like, you're not completely wasting your time. Don't you just love reading the white text on an almost white background? It's not what... Oh, you mean like here? I never found it that difficult to read, to be honest. I know that was like... the issue a long time ago, the white text on white background, but whatever, I can read easily. What's harder for me is reading black text on a background that's very textured in darks and grays. Homelands was a good deal for me when I started Magic in 96, 97. You could pick up cheap Homelands packs. And I guess you can't pick up cheap Homelands packs today, but it's still you can pick the singles up really cheap. Still bad, but funny. Yeah, we did didgeridoo. Screwing your opponents out of lands in a rude way. I guess maybe. That's possible. Willow Priestess? It is a Homelands card. Green, 2 generic for a 2/2 Fairy Druid. You can tap. You may put a fairy permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield? That's insane! What is going on here? What does it mean by fairy permanent? Did they prophesize deep into the future? They would have fairy enchantments? Perhaps fairy artifacts? That's not actually a creature? Wow, Homelands, they were foreseeing the future. Because they eventually did come out with those tribal cards. Like Bitter Blossom. So you can put Bitter Blossom onto the battlefield. End of turn, flash in my Bitter Blossom. Green 2 generic, target green creature gains protection from black until end of turn. They oracled that. They oracled that's in the oracle text. You may put a fairy permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield, so you can put Bitter Blossom in play. That is totally fair game. Because it's a tribal enchantment fairy, but it's not actually a creature. That's wild. Homelands prophesized tribal permanents. Beastwalkers. Like, there's a lot of, like, slow-paced battle cruiser commander cards in this set. Beastwalkers for a white 1 generic. You can for a 2/2 human beast soldier. That's bizarre. It just looks like a human with a bear fur on them. You can pay white to banding until end of turn. I would not play this card anywhere. Maybe limited. Maybe. Hector with Koskan Falls. We got a black 2 generic enchant world. It's a world enchantment. Okay, at the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice Koskan Falls unless you tap an untapped creature you control. Okay, weird upkeep cost, but whatever. Creatures can't attack you unless their controller pays 2 for each creature they control that's attacking you. Ooh, it's a reserve. It's a bad reserve list Propaganda. Like we have propaganda, we have ghostly prison. It's like a very bad ghostly prison and propaganda. You gotta tap your own creatures, and you gotta pay 4 mana, and it's on the reserve list. By the way, this art, Rob Alexander art. Yeah, reserve list propaganda in black. That's right. Exactly. That's it. Beast Walkers reminds me of a Spider-Man villain meme. Oh, yeah. These guys are sus in reference to the last card. Yeah, very sus. Nothing to see here. We're just bears. We're not criminals or anything like that. Or soldiers. Cosmic Seeds. Falls rules. Not a card. Did propaganda actually come from this set? I don't think so. But they're heroes. They were heroes. Maybe. Okay, Irvin with, what's it? Marjan. Sure. Looks up. Marjan. From Homelands. Okay, blue, 5 generic. For an 8/8 Leviathan. Marjan doesn't untap during your untap step. Marjan can't attack unless defending player controls an island. When you control no island, sacrifice Marjan. Blue, sack a creature. Untap Marjan, plays ability only during your upkeep. And blue, Marjan gets -1/-0 until end of turn, and deals 1 damage to target attacking creature without flying. Actually, that last one might not be too bad. Until it gets -1 just until end of turn and deals 1 damage to target attacking creature without flying. So specific. The last ability is the best ability. You're basically spending 7 mana for an enchantment that you can pay double blue to deal damage to creatures. I guess that's it. This is terrible. Is Joven a real card? It is. The legends are true. Joven is a real card. From Homelands, the red 3 generic, legendary creature. It's a 3/3, you can pay triple red, tap, destroy target non-creature artifact. What does that mean? Okay, so it's like, Joven, you're almost as good as a thief as I, but Aaron hates you even more, says Chandler. There must be some really good comic book series about, I don't know, Homelands that I don't know about. Must have been a great story back then. Why would you pay blue instead of just blocking it? Hold on, it had to be attacking creature? Oh, it was an attacking creature without flying. Well, maybe it's tapped, because he didn't want to untap this stupid thing. Yeah, okay. This card is beyond salvageable. Alan says, Homelands and Fallen Empires are my all-time favorite sets. They are so flavorful and lore-rich. I'll always sub out new cards for older, more flavorful cards. Commander makes room for fun. Yeah, flavor win. Who plays for... There are 2 types of Commander players. Those who play to win and those who play for flavor. Sadie with the Winter Sky. Oh, what is this? Red sorcery. Flip a coin! Do I have a coin to flip? I have a remote control I can flip. Okay, flip a coin. Target opponent calls heads or tails while coin is in the air. If the flip ends up in your favor, Winter Sky deals 1 damage to each creature and each player. Otherwise, each player draws a card. Ah, I see. So we're either going to draw a card or are we obliterating everything for 1 damage? I actually like it. Actually, maybe I don't. Maybe this is unplayable. It's just not going to do what you want it to do. I would not realistically play this card. What else do we got here? We got Crow Card Games, back with some super chats. Zevlor. And Prophecy, jank combo. Okay, hold on. And Prophecy. Okay, so this is the reveal the card, top card of the library, and then shuffle it. And then Zevlor says, pay 2 tap. When you next cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets a single opponent or single permanent opponent controls this turn, for each other opponent, choose that player or permanent they control, copy the spell, and the copy targets the chosen player or permanent. So hold on, you get to draw 3 cards is what you're saying? Or you look at the top. Why? Okay, well, you said it was a jank combo. You said it was jank. And I believe it. Joven's ferret? Oh, ferrets? He's got more than one ferret. Ah, the ferrets! Ah, it's cute. It's a very cute look. You know, I love YouTube videos with ferrets. All right, we got a green 1/1 ferret. Whenever Joven's ferrets attacks, it gets +0/+2 until end of turn. I don't know why. So it's basically a 1/3 creature. At end of combat, tap all creatures that blocked Joven's ferrets this turn. They don't untap during their controller's next untap step. Why do they have this freeze mechanic or stun? That is so bizarre. That has nothing to do with ferrets as far as I'm concerned. Or did they stun them in cuteness? Like, aw, that is so cute. Makes no sense to me. Was there an explanation for the thing? Okay, prophecy image is looking at the black legend from before. Okay, hold on. Target player, then Zealot makes it target 3, draw through. Okay, yeah, that's it. Okay, I understand. Turn it into an ancestral recall is what you wanted to do. They probably went by their noses. Ferrets are not good at smelling animals. Oh, Beanpot with Dwarven Pony. The only pony... Oh, they errated it, though. I'm so... We did didgeridoo, by the way. Dwarven Pony! A red 1/1 pony! Errated to horse now. Pay a red 1 generic. Tap. Target dwarf gains mountain walk until end of turn. I hear Helena's got a pony that can count to 6 and likes to eat meat, says Chandler. Yeah, this is actually beyond useless. It's basically... You're basically... getting a red 1/1 creature, which on par for even back then was beyond useless. I like how that is a pet that Joven owns. Yeah, of all the things. Boo, the pony can never be a horse. Yeah, exactly. That's a complete flavor fail. Make it Paponi again. What happened here? I want a pony. That's the OG pony card. That's exactly right. Yeah, we did Aeron. You want to do Chandler again? Yeah, need more dwarf support. They needed a lot. I mean, that was the dwarf support back then. It was the dwarf support. What do we got here? I need cards, people. Oh, Crowcore Games here again with another super chat. Support the channel. Broken Visage. Broken Visage. I have no idea what that means. I guess it's a mirror of some sort. A black 4 generic instant. Destroy target non-artifact attacking creature. It can't be regenerated. Put a black spirit creature token into play with the power that creature's power and toughness. Sacrifice the token at end of turn. That's what I'm talking about. See, that's flavorful. We have spirits in the game, but I don't know why. I think everything that dies should turn into a spirit token. That should be an alternate, like, Magic the Gathering game. So, like, the creature dies, and then you get, like, I don't know, a spirit token that is flying and the same power and toughness as that creature. That would make so much sense to me. So, like, whenever you kill a creature, you still got to deal with creatures. Many of the cards in Homelands have various versions. Anyway, unplayable. Too expensive. Also too situational. It's a huge blow at that. Like, that would be a huge tempo swing. Trevor Peebles Dark Maze. Oh, we did this one. Clockwork Seed by Mr. Very Smart. Oh, Steed. Sorry, Steed. What is this? 4 mana for a 0/3. Oh, this is that thing. Yeah, we made this. This is really, really bad. Are we running out of cards, people? We have Clockwork Gnomes in this set. Oh, this thing. Okay, so 4 mana for a 2/2 gnome. Pay 3, tap, regenerate target artifact creature. Unplayable. We got also Super Duper. Thank you very much for the super chat. you have a card, I'll keep an eye out for it. Was this a set of Winter's Sky? Oh no, we did this one already. Man, we're running out of cards already. Sadie Braun with Temerian. Oh no, we did Temerian Fiends. That was the first one. Did we not do Baron? Yeah, we did Baron. We did the Bestiary. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna have to look at my there's no way we did all these. Okay, Dwarven Sea Clan. We didn't do Dwarven Sea Clan. Okay, we got a red 2 generic for a 1/1 dwarf on the ocean. Tap at end of combat. Dwarven Sea Clan deals 2 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. Use this ability only if that creature's controller controls any islands. That's awful. Gustav with Hasdur. Hasdur the Abbot. White 3 generic for a 2/5 legend. Pay X tap. Redirect to Hasdur the Abbot. X damage dealt to any white creature you control. It sounds like don't punch their face, punch my face. And it sort of looks like this guy has got like his face is not very symmetrical. One side's gotten a beating over the other ones. This is unplayable. Okay, we're going with Wall of Kelp. For many of you, Wall of Kelp. Blue 03 Defender. It's a plant wall. Blue tap. Put a 0/1 blue plant wall creature token with Defender named Kelp into play. This actually looks okay. If you needed walls, this will make tons of walls. Mom is supposed to feature a legend that hasn't seen a printing since Homelands. Hoping it's Joven. Oh god. Could be. Mr. Very Smart. Orcish Mine. Red 1 generic. Enchant land. Orcish Mine enters the battlefield with 3 ore counters on it. At the beginning of your upkeep or whenever enchanted land becomes tapped, remove an ore counter. When the last ore counter is removed, destroy the land and it deals 2 damage to that land's controller. Wild card. Useless though. Too slow. Really you know, they have freaking Stone Rain at the time. This is like, hold on, this is way worse. This is the worst Stone Rain I've ever seen in my life. Just absolute trash. I don't really want to end the show on this. Look at one more. Aeson Crusader. I feel like we stalled out. There's a lot more Homelands cards here. White 2 generic. For a 2/2. Sorry, a 2-star, 2-star. Aeson Crusaders, power and toughness are each equal to 2 plus the number of soldiers and warriors you control. 2 plus the number of soldiers. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, this is barely playable in a soldier or warrior deck. Giant Oyster! Did I miss any super chats? I hope not. Okay, blue 2 generic for a 0/3 Oyster. You may choose not to untap Giant Oyster during your untap step. Tap as long as Giant Oyster remains tapped. Target land. Sorry. As long as Giant Oyster remains tapped, target tapped creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. And at the beginning of each of your draw steps, put a -1/-1 counter on that creature. When Giant Oyster leaves player becomes untapped, remove all -1/-1 counters from that creature. Oh! So like slowly siphons the creature. That's the clam. That's right. I don't know. It might be cube playable. Might be cube playable. All right, that'll be it for today. Thank you very much for being here. If you liked reviewing these old sets, let me know. We can review once in a while, like Urza Saga, the Fallen Empire, Fallen Empires. We could look at Tempest, all the super old ones. So if you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments section below. If you want to be part of the show, you got to be here at 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time, Monday to Friday. Thank you very much for all your support, all the super chats, everyone who's a member on YouTube and also a patron on Patreon. If you want to support the show, because you love being here every morning to catch these goofy shows, you can find that support in the description below. or links to it. But most importantly, thank you very much for being here this morning. Thank you very much, Poxy, Approaching Calamity, Vermin, King Ginger, Crowcore, Grafik, Plasma. We got Nalia, Turot, Poxy, Cosmic Seeds, Levy, Cute Spider, Graphic, Mr. Deadhead, because without you guys, I'd have no show. So, as usual, keep brewing up them coffees, my coffee crew, and we'll keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys at the next cup.